So now in this lecture today, we'll take the sums where the limits of integration are not provided. So in this lecture today, we'll take the sums when the limits of integration are not provided. Okay, so basically here in the last lecture we had seen that the limits of integration were readily available to you. You had your inner limits as well as outer limits, and then you decide whether to integrate with respect to x first or with y first. Here the limits of integration is not provided. So now first step you will have to find the limits. So this is a bit important type because based on this types is your next types. So these are the important type, you can say. For studying this type, I have noted down the procedure. So you can note down the procedure so that understanding becomes easier for you when you start solving the problems. So let us take the procedure steps one by one. First step in the procedure is you have to draw the curves and find the region of intersection. Now curves, that is a region R, will be given to you in the question, and standard curves we have done in the starting of the class. So we will draw the curves accordingly and then we'll find the region of intersection R. Okay, so the where common region of intersection that is there, that is your region of intersection R. That is the region of intersection R, right? So first step of the procedure is simple. The curves will be given to you in the question. Those standard curves you draw and then find the common area of intersection, that is the region R, right? Now we will see two cases, as in whether to integrate with respect to y first or whether to integrate with respect to x first. First of all, consider the first case where you have to consider a strip. What do you mean by a strip? Now, here the area of integration is known, but you don't know the limits of integration. To find the limits of integration, we will have to consider a strip. Now that strip may be a standing strip in the sense that will be parallel to y-axis, or that strip may be parallel to x-axis. So we are taking the first case where the strip is parallel to y-axis. Okay, so here the strip is parallel to y-axis. Now what you have to do, if we consider a strip parallel to y-axis using the equations of the curve. So you have to use the equations of the curve. Equation of the curve will be known. For example, equation of the curve matlab y is equal to x is a line passing through the origin, or y square is equal to 4ax is an parabola, and so on. So using the equation of the curve, we will find the value. Okay, so usually you should know the equation of the curves. That will already be readily be given in the question itself. So you have to find the value of the curve at the lower end and at the upper end. What do you mean by lower end and upper end? Since the strip is parallel to y-axis, that means it is a standing strip. Standing strip में lower or upper part होगा. So you have to find the value of y at the lower end and you have to find the value of y at the upper end of the strip. So this will give you the limits of y. Okay. So these values are the upper limits. And lower limits. So basically you are finding, I'll give you an example what I want to say. For example, here you have your xy plane. Okay, so here in the xy plane you consider a region R. Suppose this is a region R, right? This is a region of intersection. Now always you won't get a rectangle, sometimes you may get a different curve, depends on the curves that are given in the question. Now I am considering a strip. Which strip I am considering? A strip parallel to y-axis. A strip parallel to y-axis, that means the lower end of the strip and the upper end of the strip will touch somewhere or the other. So now your strip is touching here. So the point where the strip is touching here, you have to find the value of y. So you will get the value of y something as f1x. This will be your lower limit. Lower limit of what? The inner integration. Then here also you will find the value of y, that is f2x. This will be your upper limit. Okay, so basically these are your inner limits. So inner limits का solve हो गया है. You will find the value of y where the strip touches the lower part and find the value of y where the strip touches the upper part. These are your lower limit and upper limit respectively. Now we will see the outer limits. For outer limits now, usually the strip will, you will find the value of x over here. Suppose here it is a and here it is b. So usually what happens, the rule is strip will travel from left to right this way, in this direction. So whenever it is a vertical strip, that is a standing strip, the strip travels from left to right. That means first the strip will be over here, then over here, then over here, up till this point. It travels from left to right. So x is equal to a and x is equal to b. These will be your outer limits. I hope it is clear. I'll repeat again. The inner limits are the values of y where the strip touches the lower part and the upper part, whereas the outer limits are the values of x from left to right. Usually you have to remember that the standing strip will travel from left to right. Okay, one thing to note in this is you have to integrate with respect to y first. Always make a note of this. जब भी you will have a vertical strip, whenever you will have a vertical strip, you will have to integrate with respect to y first. And the outer limits are constant. Okay, outer limits will be constant and you will have to integrate with y first and it will be in terms of x. Obviously, because it is y is equal to, so y is equal to something will be in terms of x. Also, one thing to note in this point is the strip travels from left to right. This is a protocol of a vertical strip. Always it will travel from left. So lower limit will be the left part and the upper limit will be the right part. Okay, so final integration I. First you know that you have to integrate with respect to y first because it is an vertical strip. So first you will integrate with y, some function f of xy you will have, and then dx. So this is the standard form whenever you take the strip parallel to y-axis. Okay, easy to understand. Fine. Now let us take case 2. Now case 2 is exactly opposite of case 1. In case 1, what did you do? We are considering the vertical strip. Now in case 2, we will consider the horizontal strip. That is, we will consider a strip parallel to x-axis. Okay, we'll consider a strip parallel to x-axis. So in this case, you have to find the value of x at the left end. लेफ्ट पे जो जहाँ पे टच हो रहा है रीजन में, वो रीजन आपको फाइंड करना है. And then at the right end. Okay, so where the strip touches the left end, that is my lower limit. And where the strip touches the right end, that will be my upper limit. Okay, so these values are the lower limit. And the upper limit respectively. Okay, so a small change in vertical strip and horizontal strip is what? That the lower limit is where the strip touches down and upper limit is where the strip touches up. Here, if the strip is horizontal, that is if you have a sleeping strip, the lower limit is where the strip touches in the left part and the upper limit is where the strip touches the right part. Let us take an example to make you understand it more clearly. This is your XY plane. Again, the same region I will consider. Maybe this won't be the common region. You'll have some different region. So this is the common region of intersection. So in this case now we are considering a strip parallel to x-axis. So this is my strip now. Make a note of this. Strip, ये जो strip है that travels from down to up. So the protocol for this strip is it will travel from down to up. And the standing strip travels from left to right. Okay, so what you have to do first, you have to check where the strip touches the lower limit, that is the left part. So find the value of x where the strip touches, that is your lower limit. And then here you find the value of x. Again, that will be in terms of y. This will be your upper limit. So what we are doing in this case, ये सबसे अंदर वाले limits है. These are the inner limits. So in this case, the strip where it touches the left hand corner is your lower limit. And the strip where it touches the right hand corner is your upper limit. Right? These are your inner limits. Now for the outer limits, you know that you have to find the value of y. So if this is constant a and b and you know that the strip travels from down to up, that means first the strip will be over here, then it will be over here, then it will be over here, then it will be over here, and it will go up till the last point. So the strip will travel from down to up. Right? So that will be your outer limits. So now the thing to note in this is whenever the strip is parallel to x-axis, you have to integrate with respect to x first. ये याद रखना है. Okay? And then the inner limits are in terms of y and outer limits are constant. So these are the things you need to remember. Okay, so in short, what you will do whenever you get such integration, you have two integration part. Make a note, since the strip is horizontal मतलब sleeping strip है, स्लीपिंग स्ट्रिप में हमेशा integrate with respect to x first and then with y. This first point is clear. Next, since the strip is horizontal, that is parallel to x axis, your inner limits will be x is equal to in terms of y. So, and the outer limits obviously will be constant. So this will be f1 y or f2 y, some terms of y. Okay, so this is my final integration when the strip is parallel to x-axis. So now the question may arise to you. I have taken two cases. First case where the strip is parallel to y-axis. Then I have taken a case where the strip is parallel to x-axis. Now you may ask me that when to consider what, like कब स्टैंडिंग स्ट्रिप कंसिडर करना है, कब स्लीपिंग स्ट्रिप कंसिडर करना है, दैट इज योर चॉइस, दैट इज इमटेरियल. So whether you consider a standing strip or sleeping strip does not affect your answer. What you should note, the integration should become simpler. So consider such a case that the integration doesn't become difficult. So when I take the examples, you will understand that we usually choose such a case that the integration doesn't become complicated. Okay, you have to note in this case the strip travels from down to up. Okay, one thing to note is, please write down a note in your notebook. The strip, if it has variation, along it, that is, if the strip changes within the region, that means sometimes the region may change, the curve may change. So in this case what you will do is, the region is divided into parts. So you can divide the region into R1 and R2. That means single integration can be broken into I1 plus I2. That is two integrations. Okay, so let us revise whatever we had taken and then we will see sums on this. This is not very easy actually, but if you understand this theoretical part, then the sums become simpler. Okay, so let us recall whatever we have done. Step 1 is you have to draw the curves and then you have to find the common region of intersection. Second procedure is either you take a strip parallel to y-axis, okay, or you take a strip parallel to x-axis. So either you take a strip parallel to y-axis or you take a strip parallel to x-axis, depending on your choice. So if we take a strip parallel to y-axis, that means a standing strip, a vertical strip. First you have to integrate with y first. The inner limits are y is equal to in terms of x. Always remember, and outer limits are constant. Similarly, the standing strip travels from left to right. So outer limits will be the left hand corner first and then the right hand corner later. Similarly, if the strip is parallel to x-axis, the value of x at the left end and the right end will give my lower and upper limit. So whenever a strip is parallel to x-axis, we will integrate with x first and the inner limits are x is equal to any, that is left hand corner and right hand corner will give me the inner limits. Always remember the strip travels from down to up. So the sleeping strip or the horizontal strip travels from down to up. These are the rules. Okay. So let us take an example to understand the procedure that we have written. So the question is, evaluate xy dx dy Okay, now this is the question. Look at the question properly. Understand the question first. क्वेश्चन में आप ठीक से देखोगे लिमिट्स ऑफ इंटीग्रेशन नहीं दिया हुआ है. वी हैव टू फर्स्ट फाइंड द लिमिट्स ऑफ इंटीग्रेशन and then we have to evaluate that. So now what is important in this case? If the limits of integration only gets wrong, the evaluation parts becomes wrong. So limits of integration, whenever you find the limits of integration, you have to be very attentive. If you make a mistake in drawing the curve, your limits may go wrong. If you make a mistake in taking the strip, that is a horizontal strip or vertical strip, then considering the limits. So you need to be very attentive when you find the limits. Okay, so we'll do that one by one. The very first thing is, first you will draw your x-axis and y-axis, right? Now you will draw your curves. I'm taking two different colors so you understand the curves properly. Let us see the first curve. X square is equal to y. Now we have seen this curve already. It is a parabola, and I had told you a trick that wherever you have a linear power, that is here you can see the linear power is over y. So this will be a parabola on the positive y-axis. Okay, so roughly x square is equal to y is this curve, the red curve that I have drawn. Now let us take the next curve. Let me take a different color for it. Y square is equal to minus 6. Now clearly you can see linear power is over minus x. Minus x means negative x-axis. So negative x-axis, you will draw a parabola over negative x-axis this way. Okay, so this green is y square is equal to minus x. So first, your curves should be very properly known to you. Curves अच्छे से पता होना चाहिए, तभी आप ये first step कर सकते हो. So what I have done now, I have drawn the first curve x square is equal to y. Then I have drawn the next curve y square is equal to minus x. Now what I'll do, I'll shade the common region of intersection. Common part in this is this much, right? Now it is your choice whether to consider a strip parallel to x-axis or parallel to y-axis. You can do anything and the answer obviously is going to be same. So let me consider a strip parallel to x-axis. Now if I consider a strip parallel to x-axis, things to note down is, I'll write here in rough, this is not the part of your sum, but still if the strip is parallel to x-axis, integrate with respect to x first. This is the first point, and the inner limits are x is equal to some function of y. Okay, so this is what, and outer limits will be constant. So these things you need to memorize actually. Constant, that means y is equal to constant values you will get. So basically these things is what you need to memorize. Strip is parallel to x-axis. You will have to integrate with x first. ये clear है? Then inner limits होगा वो आपका x is equal to x is equal to. Okay, so basically first try to understand. I'm taking this sum a bit slowly because since this is a first sum, and if you understand this sum properly, you are through. Okay, this is your sum. You need to find the limits of integration. What we have written, since the strip is parallel to x-axis, integrate with respect to x first. And here you will find some x is equal to something, x is equal to something, y is equal to something, y is equal to something. This is very clear to you. Since the strip is parallel to x-axis, the inner limit will be x is equal to function of y. Now what will be your lower limit and what will be your upper limit is the question. you know it very well, the strip is parallel to the x-axis. So where the strip touches over here on this red part, okay, here you have to find the value of x. This will be your lower limit, okay, and the strip where it touches here on the green part, this will be your upper limit. This is clear to you? Since the strip is parallel to x-axis, the left hand side will be your lower limit, the right hand side will be your upper limit. Now left hand side का value कैसे find करना है? x is equal to क्या है? वो red वाला curve देखो. Look at that red curve. What is the value of that? X square is equal to y. That means x is equal to क्या आएगा वो? Root y. Right? Then your upper limit, your green. On what part it is touching? Green part. Find the value of x. That will be x is equal to minus y square. The green curve is given to you. So the values we will find from the curve itself. I hope it is clear. Right. So the lower limit is x is equal to root y, which is touching on the left hand side. And the upper limit is x is equal to minus y square, which is touching on the right hand side. Okay, I hope it is clear up till here. Now, let me erase this. I am done with it. So this lower and upper limit is done. Now what you have to find the outer limits. This also plays a major role in your understanding. You know that strip will travel from down to up. So the strip will go this way, from down to up. So down, where will the strip touch? The downmost part over here. Okay, and the uppermost part is over here. So first we need to find what are the coordinates of these two black that I have marked. So clearly this coordinate is origin. Clearly it is seen 0, 0. But this coordinate I don't know. Right? I do not know what is that coordinate. Because it is not a graph paper and I have drawn the rough diagrams. So I cannot guess those coordinates. So if you have to find the point of intersection, we'll do this in rough. No need to do as in your exam. But to find the point of intersection, there is a simple way to find the point of intersection of the curve. Many of you can do it orally. But since this is the first sum, I am taking it in detail. So write the curve that are given to you. What is the first curve that is given? X square is equal to y is the first curve given to you. The second curve is y square is equal to minus x. So these two curves are given to you. Now to find the point of intersection, you substitute 1 in 2. Always you do that. Whenever you have to find the point of intersection, substitute one curve into another. Let us substitute 1 and 2, that is equation 1 and 2. You will get like this, right? So x raised to 4 is equal to minus x. So the value of x is minus 1. Clearly you are getting the value of x as minus 1. Since the value of x is minus 1, we will substitute this in any one equation. Let me substitute in 1. So if minus 1 square is equal to y, so the value of y will be 1. So the point of intersection is minus 1, comma 1. Is this clear to you? Okay, so whenever you have to find the point of intersection, and since this is not a proper coordinate system, we will substitute one curve into another and get the point. So your point that we have got is minus 1, comma 1. So the point here will be minus 1, comma 1. Is this clear? So lower part is 0, 0. Upper part is minus 1, comma 1. You know that since the strip is horizontal, it travels from down to up. So down part, what you have to find? You have to find the value of y. So now the value of y you have to find. That means the value of y over here is 0 and value of y over here is 1 clearly. Right? So the outer limits will be 0 to 1. That means strip will travel from down to up. जब स्ट्रिप सबसे नीचे होगा उसका वैल्यू होगा y इज इक्वल टू 1. जब स्ट्रिप सबसे ऊपर होगा, नीचे से ऊपर धीरे धीरे ऊपर 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 जाएगा, सबसे ऊपर उसका वैल्यू होगा y इज इक्वल टू 1. So the strip will be from 0 to 1. Okay, so let me name this as equation 1. So I am almost done half of the part, which is the crucial part of this sum. That means the limits of integration were not given. They just had given you the curves. I drew the curves first, considered a strip either parallel to x-axis or y-axis, and found the limits. Please, you have to make note of this, that if the strip is parallel to x-axis, you'll have to integrate with x first and the inner limit will be something like that. And now next sum I will take where I have considered a strip parallel to y-axis. So both cases will be clear to you. So by taking the sum, I hope you have understood the idea now, what we have to do. Okay, now this becomes your earlier type sums. That is, in the previous lecture we have seen such type of sums where your limits are given to you. Now since the inner limits are in terms of y, let me consider this as I1. Okay, so let me consider this as I1, and then whatever I1 answer I'll get, I will substitute that in equation number 1. So y is a constant. With respect to x we are integrating, right? So this is x dx. Let me take the integration for this. This is x square by 2, right? This is root y minus y square. So this will be y by 2. Let me substitute the limits. Minus y square minus root y square. Okay, so sorry, minus y square square. So that will be y by 2, y raised to 4 minus y. I1 answer will be, therefore the I1 answer will be y raised to 5 minus y square by 2. Let me multiply that y inside the brackets. Now what will I do? I will substitute in equation number 1. So if I substitute this in equation number 1, my integration will be outer limit 0 to 1, and this y raised to 5 answer, whatever I have got, that I will substitute over here. Okay, this is my equation number 1. You can do it directly also, so it is your choice whether to consider I1 or directly solve the sum. So that does not matter at all. Okay, so let me integrate this. So integration will be y raised to 6 by 6, and into 2 is there of course, and y raised to 3 by 3, and into 2 is there 6. So the limits of integration are 0 to 1. So you will have 1 by 12 minus 1 by 6. So the answer is minus 1 by 12. Okay, this is the final evaluation of the integral. So the next step is easy, where you can directly find the integration, because we have done this in the earlier lecture also. But what is crucial over here is considering the strip and finding the limits. I hope the sum is clear to you. Now in this sum we had considered a strip parallel to x-axis. Now in the next sum we will same sum can be solved by both. Okay, you can solve the same sum by strip parallel to x-axis. Also you can solve the same sum by strip parallel to y-axis. So that is your choice what to solve. So now let us take one sum where I will consider a strip parallel to y-axis. Also the same sum can be solved by parallel to x-axis as well. So it totally depends on you. Let me take the curve. Curves are y is equal to x and y is equal to x square. Okay, read the sum properly first. Some integration is given. limits of integration are not given and two curves are given to you. The very first thing whenever we get the sum is you will draw the curves given to you. Okay, first you draw x and y axis. Again I'll use two different colors so your understanding becomes easier. Y is equal to x square. Now you know this, we have done in the earlier sum also. It is a parabola. Okay, y is equal to x square is a parabola. Now y is equal to x. Y is equal to x is a line passing through the origin. Okay, so it is a line passing through the origin. Again, blue is the line y is equal to x. Green is the line y is equal to x square. To make you understand, I am using different colors, right? So now common region is what I have shown by yellow. So the earlier sum I had taken a strip parallel to x-axis. In this sum I will consider a strip parallel to y-axis, that is a standing strip. Right? Now a standing strip usually you know that travels from left to right. Okay. So now what all you need to know is the very first thing. Let me write in rough whatever you need to remember. Okay. Strip is parallel to y-axis. Strip is parallel to y-axis. That means you have to integrate with respect to y first. First you will integrate with respect to y. Next, your inner limits will be y is equal to something that you need to find out. The lower limit and the upper limit. The strip which touches at the lower part is your lower limit and the strip which touches at the upper part will be your upper limit. Right? So you will find the inner limits and the upper limits. Then the outer limits again are constant. The x is equal to some constant term. Okay, here it is a function of x and here it is a constant. So this is what you need to remember. If the strip is parallel to y-axis, you will integrate with y first. The inner limits are y is equal to question mark and outer limits are some constant term. Okay. Now this is in rough, just for your understanding I have made you write. No need to write in the question or the example. Fine. So what I need to know about this is you have two integrations and your integration inside integrand is x plus y, whatever it is. Strip is parallel to y-axis, so integrate with respect to y first. This is what I have noted. And the inner limits will be y is equal to something and this will be x is equal to something. Now what are your inner limits? That you will find out. The very first thing first you need to find out is this point, because and this point, the first and the last boundary points you need to find out, because the strip will travel from left to right. You need to find these 2 points as we did in the earlier sum. Point of intersection, substitute one curve into another. Okay, so you will do this in rough. If you can do it orally, it is more easy. But okay, I'll do this because since it's the second sum only. One curve I am getting y is equal to x. Another curve I am getting y is equal to x square. Okay, so if I substitute equation 1 and 2, what I am getting, x is equal to x square. The value of x clearly is 1. If the value of x is 1, and you know y is equal to x, that means the value of y is also 1. Okay, that means this is 1 comma 1 and this is obviously origin 0 0. Okay, so I found out the points of intersection. Now you know that the strip where it touches the lower part, okay, you find the value of y, and the strip where it touches the upper part, you find the value of y. Okay, so the strip where it touches the lower part, you can see it is the green curve. What is the green curve called? Y is equal to x square. So that will be the lower limit. तो strip जहाँ पे नीचे टच करेगा वो मेरा लोअर लिमिट होगा, y is equal to x square. स्ट्रिप जहाँ पे ऊपर टच करेगा वो मेरा अपर लिमिट होगा, तो अपर लिमिट है मेरा, अपर लिमिट देखो स्ट्रिप कहाँ पे टच कर रहा है, ब्लू लाइन पे. ब्लू लाइन का इक्वेशन क्या है, y इज इक्वल टू एक्स, तो अपर लिमिट है x. राइट, नाउ यू नो दैट द स्ट्रिप विल ट्रैवल फ्रॉम लेफ्ट टू राइट. दैट मीन्स पहले स्ट्रिप इधर होगा, फिर इधर होगा, फिर इधर, ऐसे वो धीरे 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 ट्रैवल करके यहाँ तक पहुँच जाएगा. राइट, so now the strip will travel from left to right. That means left hand side, what is the value of x that you're getting? 0. And on the right hand side, the value of x that you're getting is 1. So the outer limits are 0 to 1. Okay, so these are the limits of integration. I hope it is clear now. Okay, same. So you are done with the vertical strip as well as horizontal strip. Now let us solve this integration. Integration is easy for you people. Let me consider this I1 as x square x xy x plus y dy. Right, now x is a constant with respect to your y. Let me take that outside and let me multiply these two terms. So now integration will be y integration, and then with respect to x it is, okay, so that will be x square by 2. Sorry, I have written dx over here by mistake. So it is not dx, it is dy. Above we have written dy. So this will be dy. So with respect to y you have to integrate. So that will be x as it is, the integration of y is y square by 2 and integration of y is y cube by 3. Okay, limits of integration as x square to x. So now let us substitute the limits. So what you will have, first you substitute the upper limit. So x cube by 2 plus x cube by 3, this is my upper limit, minus the lower limit. So that is x raised to 4 and x, that is x raised to 5, and this will be x square cube, that is x raised to 6. Right, so this will be my thing. So now you can simplify it further, x raised to 5, and you can open the bracket simply. So x raised to 4 by 2, let me open the brackets, plus x raised to 4 by 3 minus x raised to 6 by 2 minus x raised to 7 by 3. Okay, this is your answer for I1. Now this answer of I1 I will substitute in equation 1. So now you are left with single integration. The limits of integration are 0 to 1 and whatever I have got here. Okay, so now it's a simple integration, single integration it is. So x raised to 5 by 10, your x raised to 5 by 15, x raised to 7 by 14 and x raised to 8 by 24. The limits of integration are 0 to 1. Right, so let us substitute the upper limit. Okay, and then the lower limit. So you can simplify this. Okay, after simplification you will get the answer. I suppose the answer will be minus 67 upon 840. You can check the answer, okay, whether you are getting this as the answer. So this is the final answer for your integration where you are considering the strip parallel to y-axis. Okay, so in this lecture we have taken both the cases sums where you have to consider a strip parallel to x-axis. One more thing, let us recap again. If we consider a strip parallel to x-axis, first thing is consideration of a strip is immaterial. It is not at all important which strip are you considering. Second thing you need to know is if you consider a strip parallel to x-axis, the strip will travel from down to up, and the strip where it touches the left hand corner, okay, the strip where it touches the left hand corner is your lower limit, and the strip where it touches the right hand corner is your upper limit. Okay, and down to up is common. Now opposite, if the strip is standing, that is if you consider a strip parallel to y-axis, the strip where it touches down is your lower limit, and the strip where it touches up is your upper limit, and the strip travels from left to right. So the left part is your lower limit and the right part is your upper limit. Okay, so I just hope these sums are clear to you. We have just taken two sums. In the next class or the next lecture, we will continue with more sums where the limits of integration are not provided. Thank you so much.